evening. You are with the Urban Debate this weekend with us. I'm Sahar Zaman. It's been a very hectic weekend. Dramatic developments that have come in from the state of Punjab. Apart from all the infighting within the Congress that was out in the public domain had turned ugly in the past 5 to 6 months. But today has been the final straw. Captain Amarinder Singh is now the former Chief Minister. That's because he himself decided to step down and give in his resignation, saying enough is enough. In fact, he used the words saying, I feel humiliated. This is with respect to 3 CLP meets that were called in, the third being today, saying that continuously he's being questioned and summoned in a manner in questioning his leadership skills and abilities. Therefore, he decided to step down. He has not resigned from the Congress party though, but he stepped down as the Chief Minister. Captain says he'll stay on in the Congress. Meanwhile, another development, which was the CLP meet that took place here of the Congress, which was to choose the new Chief Minister. This is going to be an interim Chief Minister because the State Assembly elections happen early next year by the month of February or March. So it's going to be for a very small period of time, but nevertheless, the Congress has to take that decision soon. We're expecting that announcement here to come in soon. In fact, the Congress says the Congress President Sonia Gandhi would be deciding on the name. So all of the issues to tackle right now pertaining to Punjab. This is with respect to the fate of the Congress in the state of Punjab. Who's going to be the next Chief Minister's face, which is acceptable to all. Remember, the MLAs are split down the right, the centre in 2 very strong camps, one supporting Captain Amarinder Singh, the other supporting Navjot Singh Sidhu's leadership. What's next for Captain Amarinder Singh himself? Because he's very clearly said he's thrown out an open dare in the statement that he made today here, saying that he's been in politics for 52 years. He's going to be meeting with his supporters, taking in consultations to decide what to do next. The future of politics is an open option, is what he'd said. And because this infighting and because this split, could this really be advantage opposition? Remember, the opposition being the Shiromani Akali Dal and the Aam Aadmi Party in the State Assembly. The AAP, of course, holds the chair of the LOP in the State Assembly. They're considerably low in number of MLAs compared to the Congress that sits on 80. SAD is about 14 and AAP is about 16. But could this in any way be advantage opposition? We're going to be taking into account all of these issues here tonight. Let's throw this open to our panelists with us. We have Tehseen Poonewala, political analyst, Harjot Bains, spokesperson of the Aam Aadmi Party, and Hemant Atre, senior journalist with us. Thank you, all of you, for being with us here tonight. First to you, Tehseen Poonewala, in all of these developments here that have come in, it is largely being seen as a very messy affair. Yes, there is infighting. Yes, there are leadership issues in parties. We've seen that in the BJP as well. But it hasn't been that out in the public. What the captain did today is literally cocking a snook at the High Command, saying that, listen, this is too much. I feel humiliated. I'm such a strong and senior leader. And this is the decision I've been pushed to take today.
Thank you for having me. I'm going to make a couple of brief points. I'm not going to go into Karnataka, like you rightly said, of how Yediyurappa was humiliated, or 3 chief ministers in Uttarakhand, or Assam, or even, or Gujarat, where the entire cabinet was changed, and 4 chief ministers were changed to the BJP. That's not my line of argument at all. Though, of course, with the media, and friends from the media, and I don't hold you, I'm saying the other media, they love to say that what Amit Shah ji and Mr. Modi do is masterstroke, decisive leadership, but anything that the opposition does is a messy affair, to quote you. Let's be clear on this. Since morning, I've been getting calls, WhatsApp messages, based on sources from journalists saying the Congress is going to split. It started with 40 MLAs with Captain Saab. It came down to 15 MLAs. 79 out of 80 MLAs were there for the meeting. Everybody voted for what was required. And the fact of the matter is that Congress is a united house. Now, I'm going to make 2 points to end my submission. Point number 1. I will be with you on the day of the results for Punjab and Uttarakhand, and I'm telling you, in both states, a Congress chief minister will take oath. Congress in Punjab will do better than what is done now and will cross 80. My second submission to you. Let's understand one thing. At the end of the day, I am a political party and I know what I have to do, which is best for my survival. Please give me the respect to understand that I have my MLAs, 79 of my 80 MLAs I touch on the ground. They know what is best for them, and I have taken decisions based on the feedback. And this decision of Aam Aadmi Party, because they're representative here, every single MLA of theirs wants to join me. Everybody is coming to me But I am the one who's collapsing. I have not understood this. I have 79 out of 80 MLAs endorsing my decision. So please, this is no longer a messy affair.
Okay. All right, but 79 of 80, of course, just Captain himself missing. But he had also instructed his supporters. The understanding here also is that he had instructed his supporters to attend that meet. It wasn't a boycott. Everyone wants to move ahead and take a look into what's going to be the next chief minister's face. How acceptable is it going to be to all? There are still very two strong.
Fair point. Then may I make a point to that? If that is the case,
all right, Tehseen, very quickly.
Yes. Very quickly, a fair point. I take that point of yours with humility, and if that is the point that you are now suggesting, then it's no longer a messy affair. The captains also said, let's go ahead, let's see what's happening. So how is it a messy affair? He's asked his people to fall in line. Look, let's understand one thing. In Madhya Pradesh, I was accused of not being forceful. In Punjab, I'm accused of being forceful, dictatorial. In Madhya Pradesh, you are telling me, why am I not backing youngsters? In Punjab, you're telling me, why am I not backing an 80-year-old veteran? The fact of the matter is, both in Madhya Pradesh and in Punjab and in Rajasthan, I have gone ahead with what the majority of my MLAs wanted. So as in Assam, majority of the MLAs wanted Himanta Biswa, and that's what happened. Sonowal Sahab had to go. Chief ministers who enjoy support of the MLAs stay. Those who don't have to go. That's the harsh reality of life. And please give me credit that I know what is happening on the ground. I will come with you on the day of the election. I am taking oath, and I will have more than 80 MLAs. When I say I mean opposition. I don't mean me. Just to clarify.
Harjot Benz, will you? Yes, that was metaphorical, so we were just wondering for a moment. Glad you clarified that, Tehseen. Harjot Benz, spokesperson of AAP here. Harjot Benz, to what extent is this advantage Aam Aadmi Party? I mean, it's the party which is in power in the state is infighting. We have seen how it impacts the next elections. There are several examples in the past here that people get jittery about a party when leadership is not focused or on point. To what extent is this advantage AAP?
Yeah, definitely it is for advantage, and I will like on the bigger picture. See, from last 1 year, Congress has been infighting, and we have been calling that, and that was at the cost of the people of Punjab, at the cost of the government. You know, our farmers have been sitting on the street, our youth has been sitting on the street, our contractual employees have been sitting on the street, and on the other hand, Congress MLAs and ministers themselves admitting that we have failed the people of Punjab in 4.5 years. That how come we are going to face the people of Punjab in the next elections, and now with only 100 days left to the code of conduct by doing this drama? Do you think the people of Punjab will forget them? Or do you think that Congress can run away from their responsibility that in last 4.5 years, they have failed the people of Punjab and with 100 days left? And another question to Congress is that what is the guarantee that even in this 100 days, there will be no infighting? Because from last 1 year, this drama has been going on. Someone visiting Delhi, someone coming to Dehradun, someone coming to sitting from a farmhouse. What else? You know, Congress is a complete mess. I totally disagree with my brother Poonawalla Saab. He says, and Congress is a complete mess, and people of Punjab are eagerly waiting to vote for Aam Aadmi Party.
Quick reply.
All right. So this is of course with respect to what will happen in about 4 months from now, next year, early next year, with state assembly elections happen. But right now, because there needs to be an interim chief minister chosen, how are the numbers going to stack up in the state assembly? Whether or not there's going to be any change to 80 or 79 MLAs here. Hemant Atre, senior journalist with us, listening on to both voices there. Hemant, in your view, the immediate impact of the numbers stacking in the state assembly. We've been speaking to experts through the day. One of the experts said that you never know. It could be reduced to a minority.
There's no doubt about it, Sahar. For the very simple reason, see how Captain is playing his game. He has not quit the Congress party, but he has expressed himself in the clearest of terms by saying that he has been humiliated. That is one. Two, he has openly and outrightly said that if Mr. Navjot Singh Sidhu is going to be the chief minister, I'm not going to tolerate him. That is number two. Whatever has been done today, it is with a plan and with a perspective.
Right.
As of now, Captain Amarinder could not garner that much of support from his own MLAs as he was expecting. So he kept low. And in the morning show with your channel at 11, I told your people, okay, whatever there was a story running on, I told them that it is not the High Command which have asked to step Captain Amarinder Singh down, but Captain himself called Sonia Gandhi and told her this enough is enough and I am going to step down. That's one. Two, Captain Amarinder is not an Advani. Please mark my words. Captain Amarinder is not a Rupani. Captain Amarinder is a man in himself. He knows how to tackle things. Suppose what my friend has been saying here, he is saying there were 79 MLAs. Do
No,
they
but
really
Hemant,
matter?
also help our viewers understand what is it that you mean by saying that he's not a Rupani or he's not an Advani. No, with all due respect to all the other names that you've taken, what is it that you're trying to say about his leadership here?
No, it's a very simple thing. If somebody who is, who can meet eye to eye with Captain Amarinder Singh, he will keep low. Somebody made chief minister. See, last time Congress rode into Punjab power on the name of Captain Amarinder Singh. And the way he has been ousted today, he has been forced to ousted today for the very simple reason that somebody wants to change him. And he is successful to the extent that Captain Amarinder Singh has been removed. Now the issue is second, who comes into the power? Suppose somebody who is a unanimous choice with both the factions, that is Sidhu as well as Captain Amarinder Singh. There is no issue. But as Captain Amarinder Singh, after this resignation thing, he has categorically told one thing, that Navjot Singh Sidhu is not a politician, he is a comedian, he is a non-serious person. And he is in close contact with Mr. Bajwa of Pakistan Army, as well as Imran Khan. He is a friend of Imran Khan. And he has categorically also told that 800 kilometers of the Punjab border
some
touches with the Pakistan.
allegations that he's made. This is, of course, to interviews to the media, interviews that he's given to our network while speaking to our group editor here as well. Tehseen, the larger sense here being that this is, of course, being outright against Navjot Singh Sidhu, his leadership, calling him pro-Pakistan, calling him anti-national, saying that I will definitely not go by his leadership if the Congress makes that announcement here. This is yet another open dare to the Congress leadership. To what extent can the Congress really keep its flock together here in the face of that defiance of what we're hearing now? Tehseen.
Very unfortunate what Hemant ji was just saying. Very unfortunate. International border is not manned by the Chief Minister. It's run by the Honorable Prime Minister and Union Government. Is Hemant ji trying to say that what happened in Pulwama and Pathankot was the fault of Captain Saab then? Or it was the fault of Modi ji? Let's not get into these. These are political statements we need. Let's come to what is the substance of it. I heard Hemant ji's entire argument, and his entire argument bordered on something, someone, somehow, very vague statements. There's nothing specific. Let me be as specific as I can. I won an election in 2017. Hemant ji wants to credit Captain Saab. Of course, he played an important role, as did the others and the Congress party as an organization. In 2021, 79 out of 80 MLAs felt that I need to take another course. Politics is evolving. I have taken that course going by the will of the majority. That is what democracy does. Now, for these, again, vague statements as somebody is a man in himself, he's not a Rupani, he's not a that. Let me tell you, Yedurappa, the most powerful chief minister, the only BJP chief minister in South India who actually built the BJP riding on a cycle. He had split from the BJP. The BJP got defeated. The BJP only rose to power this time because Yedurappa ji got the 13%.
All right. So, Tehseen, are you trying to say right now the Congress has nothing to worry about? मतलब इतनी बड़ी बात हो गई. Captain resigned. He said, "I'm humiliated. What is this? You can't be questioning my leadership." But nothing has happened really. At the end of the day, by tonight on a Saturday that has lost its tallest chief minister, the Congress wants to send out the message here that still everything is fine.
I am grateful to Captain for his services to our country, to the great state of Punjab. I am grateful that he's done a fantastic job. We have to move on. We've moved on. And I will be there with you on the day the results come out, and mark my word. Congress is crossing 80. As for my friend from the Aam Aadmi Party who said Aam Aadmi is coming back to power, all their MLAs are itching to join the Congress. The Aam Aadmi Party and Akali Dal together will not cross 20, and BJP will not open its account. I want you to record this, and I will be there with you on the day of
Harjot Benz, please respond to that here. there are leaders within your party who want to join the Congress today, despite what's happened?
Many, not few, many.
Harjot ji, please respond. You'll have to unmute yourself, please.
Hello, sorry. Am I
Harjot
audible now?
Benz, please unmute yourself. We can't hear you. Yes.
So
Yes,
I
please
was
go
telling
ahead.
you, I'm just telling you, Mr. Tassim is living in Delhi and he's living far away from the ground reality of Punjab. In coming days, you're seeing
I actually just
many
came back
sitting
from Punjab.
Congress big shot
Just to tell you.
MLAs, and the sitting cabinet ministers are in talks with Aam Aadmi Party, and Congress is in a state of mess.
Gift
You know,
warning.
from the given any survey,
warning.
any survey
No,
agency
gift
is
warning.
making Aam Aadmi Party government, and we are sweeping Punjab this time. Last time Congress did a cheating with people of Punjab by making tall promises, Har Ghar Rozgar, and cheap power, and they have failed on every single. And just answer me, Tessie, just answer me. Your MLAs, your cabinet ministers, your TPC chief has said that in last 4.5 years we have failed. You have failed people of Punjab, and with what face you are going to face this election? With 100 days left. This is not me saying. This is not Aam Aadmi Party saying. This is your leader saying.
Okay.
This is your MLA
please be allowed
saying.
to
This
respond.
is your
It's a
cabinet
short-
minister saying.
Calm down.
This
Calm
is your
down. Don't
high
shout.
commanded
Allow
meeting.
me to respond.
All right.
I understood your
Okay,
point
I
of
want to
view.
bring in some very.
Out of Captain
Please
Amarinder
allow me
Singh.
to respond.
Let's get in Hemant Atre here. Yes,
Allow me
Harjot
to
Benz, we
respond.
got your point. Hemant Atre, the largest issue one would think resonating with the Punjab voters is the farm laws here. And keeping that in mind, what do you think is the Congress leadership thinking on who can be the largely acceptable face here, not just within the Congress party, not just for both factions here, but also for the farmers? To what extent that is going to be a deciding factor?
See, sir, this is a very important question. Actually, before all this fiasco started, after the appointment of Mr. Navjot Singh Sidhu, there was no challenge to Congress parties coming to the power again in next elections, February 2022 elections. What happened in between? It has been debated, discussed a lot. My simple point is, as of now, after Captain Amarinder Singh, Congress has no person in the state, no person, no leader who has a pan-state appeal. That is number one. Number two, Captain Amarinder was successful in shifting the whole stuff to Delhi borders. Instead of getting in Punjab, of course, there was a few dharnas in Punjab also for sugarcane prices and a few things. But as far as agriculture, farm issues were there, laws were there, that agitation was shifted to Delhi for all practical purposes. Now, and that was the advantage Congress for the very simple reason, Captain Amarinder championed the cause for the farmers, and he ensured that there is no problem as far as Punjab is concerned.
Right.
Now, what is happening now is, who will be the chief minister? It will depend a lot. A face like Captain Amarinder Singh, who has a pan-state appeal, or somebody like a comedian like Navjot Singh Sidhu, or somebody even more non-serious or lesser known, it is yet to be seen. But yes, before all these fiasco start, Congress was undisputedly coming to power. As of now, they have opened floodgates to everybody, maybe to AAP, to everybody. Still, they can have the advantage if they have a proper caste combination in cabinet, as well as the choice of leader. And it is, let me tell you this, it is going to happen as early as tonight also, only. And the new cabinet will be sworn in as early as by tomorrow evening, for the very simple reason, Shraddhs are starting day after tomorrow. So it's very tight walk for Congress High Command to whom should be appointed. So the very simple reason, Navjot Singh Sidhu is a Jat Sikh. Now next name comes to Sunil Jakhar. And then Akalis have already, although they are nowhere on the ground as of now, for last say about 4.5 years, they have played a, something very unique. They have said that there will be a deputy chief minister from the Dalit community. So that card is also there. Now only 4.5 effective months of ruling is remaining with the Punjab. And this is very important for Congress High Command. How to cover up this whole fiasco that they have created, knowingly or unknowingly. But Congress certainly had an advantage. After this fiasco, they have certainly lost that advantage. and game is quite
And,
open now.
and it is undoubtedly being seen as a fiasco. Tehseen, would you like to respond to that here? Because the larger argument that the Congress has continued to maintain through this entire infighting, and 5 to 6 months ago when it started to become openly public, particularly Navjot Singh Sidhu derogatorily speaking about Captain Amarinder Singh openly to the media here, that the Congress took great pride in the fact that it is a democratic party and it doesn't gag anyone. It likes to keep all views and go along and take all views along here. Would you still take that in the Congress's stride, saying that this is what happened today is still a question of huge pride?
You will appreciate it's 2 against 1. So please allow me to make my point. Point number 1 to what my friend from the Aam Aadmi Party said. He kept repeating the point. He said, oh, there are many cabinet ministers in touch with Aam Aadmi Party. I dare him on your show to name 1. He couldn't name. I can name 3 MLAs who joined the Congress. Sukhpal Khera, Jagdev Singh Kamalu and Primal Singh Khalsa. They've all joined the Congress. So let's be specific. These vague ideas, this is a national television show. Let's not be vague, use words like somebody, man of his own, XYZ.
Okay.
Let's be specific.
All right. So my question was specific, right, Tehseen? So answer my question, please. My question was very specific.
My second point. Then I was accused of not knowing what's happening in Punjab. I've just landed from Punjab, coming from Israel, just landed. I've been the one in Punjab and Delhi. So let's say that we don't know. Now let's come to the point you raised. You raised the point about democracy or the MLAs. Again, I'm repeating the point that I made earlier on the show for the sake of making myself clear again. 79 out of 80 elected MLAs have voted a certain way. 79 out of 80. That's a 99.9% majority. What do you want me to do? Not to go around with my 99.9% majority, 79 out of my 80 MLAs? If you were that popular, you would have had the MLAs with you, but you're not. Now the fourth point that Hemant ji made regarding the farmers. You see, again, because I've also been involved in the farm agitation, given speeches there, Rakesh Tikait, we've been together on the stage. Every single survey, and this survey was carried out by people who even carry out survey for the Times Group, including Sea Voter. Every single survey said that the farmers' anger first was against the Honorable Prime Minister, second against the Honorable Home Minister, and third was against Captain Saab. The most popular leader of the farmers was the Congress Party and Sidhu, and then at number 3 was Sunil Jakhar. These are surveys done by credible agencies that Times Group uses. So please understand. Don't use words just as joker on national television because you want to sound happy.
Okay.
Please, let's be specific when we make arguments. Let's make intellectual arguments. Let's make intellectual arguments.
No, please. Let's not get this down into personal attacks. Tehseen, we expect better from you here. No personal attacks on each other. Mr. Hemant Atre, please don't make any personal attacks on your co-panelists. Same goes for you, Tehseen. Harjot Benz, I raised the farmers issue. Let's ask you about the farmers issue here. This is with respect to the larger vote base, is the farmers in Punjab watching on and seeing what's happening within the Congress here. How is AAP viewing these developments vis-a-vis the farmers, the agitating farmers?
Farmers have been, now it's almost 10 months, farmers have been sitting and demanding, the rollback of these farm bills, and Aam Aadmi Party has been supporting them. And we have been supporting them, rising above from politics. Rising above from politics, we have been supporting them. And, this election will be based on the farmer issue. And we are with them. But I would like to respond to Tehseen on something that I can name people who have joined Aam Aadmi Party. The name of MLAs they were already Sukhpal Singh Khera is the Congress leader. The world knows it, and he went back to Congress. But Jagdeep Singh Gill, ex-mayor Bathinda, has joined Aam Aadmi Party. Just a second. You can revert it. Just a second.
Okay, all right. So this is entirely between AAP and the Congress on who's joining which party, who's jumping ship here. But I'm afraid we'll have to leave it at that here. Because the larger issue here, Tehseen, Harjot Benz, Hemant Atre, appreciate you speaking with us here. We've tried to be as civil as possible apart from those jibes at each other here. But this is a largely political story which is going to be reflecting on larger issues, which is why we spoke about the farmers' agitation here as well. Remember, The infighting within the Congress here is not just about their own infighting, but leadership that appeals to all. And that's the question. That's the question which is perhaps what Captain Amarinder Singh is looking at, where he walked out and resigned confidently, saying that he has a lot of support. He still has a lot of support here. And for the other faction of the Navjot Singh Sidhu to really pick that leader which can continue to stay on as interim chief minister here and perhaps take Congress through the polls for the next state assembly elections as well? Or could this be advantage up? Appreciate you being with us here tonight.